Yes, you are.
What happens is what happens, and the rest is what the thoughts are saying about it, and that's it. It's only now I know, but it's still like these thoughts and being the fear that thoughts are creating a person that is afraid of what might happen.
Yeah.
And that's exhausting, and it shouldn't be.
Good.
Because it's just a thought saying it's exhausting.
Yeah.
So I don't know where is the me in there. I'm looking for it all the time.
Well, there's not one there. It's in the absence of thought, the me disappears. So
Yeah, but there is always thoughts.
Well, that depends, as you've said, where the attention goes.
Yeah, that's something I want you to, if you can elaborate on, because absolutely. I heard you say to someone in a video, at a point, it's like you have a choice.
Yeah.
Where you put, and this is what I don't understand, because like we are not the doer.
And yet.
Yeah.
And
yet I am.
Okay. Now the me, which I'm sure you've come to see, is not the doer.
Yeah.
Right. And yet there's doing that happens, correct?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, correct.
Good. Now, I also know, or I believe from conversations that we've had, that you understand that the me is not conscious or aware.
Yeah, of course, because there is no me.
Good. And therefore, the me also can't see, hear, taste, touch, or smell. Good. And also, the me is not the thinker. The me is a product of thinking. Good. So the me is not the thinker. Yeah. Seen all that? You acknowledge all that I've just said? Yeah. Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the me gets created by thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. It's crazy. It's amazing, actually.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this question. Given what we've just covered, okay? Are you conscious right now?
Yeah.
See how quickly you said that?
Because of course.
Now, is the me conscious?
No.
No.
It comes after.
Good. Good. So next question, which is where I need to get you to start putting the attention, is what's this?
No.
Good. Because you are conscious.
So many times.
I know. Then that's okay. Look.
It's like I can't.
It's okay. It's okay. Sometimes we need to hear the same thing over and then one day we hear it and we go, oh, it's just like that. Okay. So don't be worried that we might be covering the same ground. It doesn't matter, but we've got to cover the same ground because there's only so much ground to cover. There's only so many places you can look. There's only so many things you can inquire into. Only so many. Yeah. Have I done the I can't remember. You'll have to help me here. Have I done the whole thing, space, consciousness, awareness thing with you?
Yeah, one day you. Oh, I've seen that.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Just for the hell of it, all right?
Yeah.
Because and understand that what I'm about to say is a pointer.
Yeah.
So don't hang on to too much of what I'm saying. I'm pointing. So don't get lost in the pointing finger. Try and come to see what it is I'm pointing at. And I'm using words to try and point at something. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And the pointing finger is the words.
Okay. Okay.
Good. Okay. Now, can we, just for the sake of argument, yeah, or in principle, yeah, can we both agree from where you're sitting right now, there seems to be things all around you?
Like objects?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a thing in your hand right now.
Yeah, many things.
Yeah. Okay. So there's things. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have to get into seeming things or dream things. I'm keeping it really basic. Yeah? From a human experience, there seems to be things around us. Yeah. Okay. For those things to be, what are they contingent upon?
Yeah, space.
Good. When was the last time you noticed space?
Yeah, I'm trying to all
Trying.
the time, but
Okay.
I know last time you told me, but you can do it right now. And it's like, I don't know. Nothing happens. It's
all right. Can you at least see, okay, that things, for their very existence, are dependent upon space?
of course, yeah.
Good. If we removed all of the space, there's no place for a thing to exist, correct?
Yeah.
This is important.
I mean,
See it. I mean, it's logical. What I'm saying is logical.
yeah, that's
practical.
just logical.
Yeah.
Of course.
Good. Now, can we agree that for the thing to be a thing, yeah, it's dependent or contingent upon space?
In this
Right
reality,
here.
yeah.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, right here, yeah, because
Yeah.
it could be another way in another. Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
But just here right now.
Yeah.
For a thing to be able to be a thing, there has to be space first. You can't have a thing without space. Just
No.
see this. Just see it.
Yeah.
What would a thing appear in if there was no space?
It couldn't.
Good. Simple. This is simple. Don't overthink it. You're right. It couldn't.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, I know where you're going. Like,
It's okay. So
awareness is space.
hang on. Track with me. Stay with me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is just a practical exercise. Okay. So I want you to become really sure of what I've just said, that a thing in the absence of space cannot exist. It requires space to exist in.
Yeah.
Clear? Crystal clear? I don't want to move until you've fully got that.
But it's just logic.
It is. So it's not a trick question. I'm just getting you to see.
But what if there wasn't any space?
Good question.
What would it be?
Good. What could it be?
Maybe objects would still be there.
Existing in what?
Well, but this is just like, it's physics,
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just because it's it's like, because laws of physics of this world, but maybe space could be something else. It's just, maybe objects could exist without space. Maybe. I mean, it can do anything. What I mean?
All right, okay, good. Let's come out of the mind and just come back into the room you're in, where you're sitting.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you see from this reality, that if there was no space, a thing has got nothing to be occupied in? If there was no space, just looking around your room, if there was no space, could any of what you see exist?
No.
Good. That's the answer.
Okay.
Now, good. Now let's just be sure of that, okay? For the sake of this, it's an exercise, Jewel.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's just an exercise. Yeah. Now, if you heard me talking about being conscious of, yeah, what do I mean by that?
Yeah, it's objective. It's there are objects to be conscious of.
Good. Now, in the absence of thoughts, or in the absence of mind, now, is there anything to be conscious of? You need mind to say that's an object, or that's a thing, or
create
to create it. Good. You see that?
Yeah.
Good. So where you're living, okay, is in a, you'll have to excuse some of the language that I'm using. It's not great, but where you're living, it's like you're in a realm of being conscious of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And that's where everyone's living, by the way, not just you. Everyone is living there. We are conscious of, but it takes two things to be conscious of.
Yeah.
Consciousness and the mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could also incorporate seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, and smelling. Yeah. But without the sixth sense, the thinking sense, there's nothing to say about anything. So it's like there's no thing, because we need this to create the thing, to say there's the thing. We also need this to say, I don't know, that tree is separate from that tree. It's this that creates the division. It's this that says there's separation. But if this was absent, the idea of separation wouldn't even arise, would it?
No.
So if this said absolutely nothing, the idea of separation doesn't arise. Therefore, there is no separation. It's only this that divides. Do you understand?
Yeah, I do.
Good. So it's a thinking mind that divides. And where we live as a person, even when we're on this path, is we live in a realm, or a state, if you want to call it that, of being conscious of. All the time we are conscious of. And it's the mind and consciousness that creates the capacity to be conscious of something. Conscious of the laptop in front of you, conscious of your purple top that you're wearing, conscious of your earphones, conscious of thoughts, conscious of a feeling in the body, conscious of the sun, the moon, the stars, conscious of temperature. Like we're in a state of being conscious of. Now, if we can understand that a thing is dependent upon space to exist, then there's something primary, important than the thing itself. True? Good.
Yeah.
As a person living in the realm or in a state of being conscious of, we never notice the space. And yet, without that space, there'd be no thing. Yeah. So we constantly get caught, yeah, in this state of being conscious of things all the time. And we don't notice the space, and indeed that the space comes before the thing.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Right. So it's more important.
Yeah.
But we don't notice it.
No, we don't.
It's incredible.
Right? Yeah,
now.
it's crazy.
Right. Now, the reason we don't notice it is because the mind can't make a thing out of it. Space is not a thing, is it?
Yeah, you're right.
It's vacant.
Space is it's like space is nothing to the
Correct.
mind.
Correct.
And what's interesting is all the rest.
Yeah, all the things that are there arising because of space, because there's space. Yeah. So there's two parts to this. Yeah. As an exercise, there's two parts. Okay. One, I want you to start to notice space, Julie.
I tried yesterday. I did that, and I was driving, and I was like, okay, space.
It's just about this. See, because space is a no thing, the tool that we use to notice space is just being conscious of space. You're conscious of space. We don't have to think about space because you can't. It's not a thing. So the mind can't get its head around space. It can't. It doesn't. It's not a thing. Space is not a thing. Right?
Yeah. It's like the mind can't notice space.
That's right. Now
it's impossible. That's why.
Good. So let's not use that tool, the mind, to notice space. We're going to use a different tool.
Yeah, but it's like I don't have another one.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. No, you absolutely do.
But is this a tool? Is consciousness a tool?
Yeah. Are you conscious of, listen to me, are you conscious of space around you?
Yes.
See how quickly you answered? Now, try and use the mind. What's space?
I don't know. The mind, it's like only sees things.
Good. Now that's the truth.
It only sees things.
Good. Now that's the truth. Yeah. And yet you are conscious of space. So that's the tool we use. This is a pointer, love. Don't.
Yeah. That's
when I'm saying consciousness is a tool.
I know.
Try and dissect that. Yeah. It's a pointer. But you are conscious of space. Yeah?
Yeah.
Good. So there's two parts to this. Number one, I want you to start to become more conscious of space and not things. Sometimes you'll hear, my teacher, Sailor Bob Adamson, was a classic at saying, try and notice the space between thoughts.
Yeah. I've heard that before.
Right. Okay. So this is now we're just dealing in this realm here where we think we live and where there's things and so on and so forth. Yeah. So I'm trying to get you to become more conscious of space because space isn't a thing. And furthermore, there's only one space. It's only things that seems to divide space, isn't it? Like you'd say there's space in the room that you're in at the moment.
Yeah, walls.
Yeah, and there's space outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's only things that seem to divide space, but space is one thing.
Yes.
There's not two lots of space.
No.
Yeah. Like if we came along and we demolished your building, would it affect the space, either inside or outside?
Oh, it would look like there is more space because some objects are gone.
But the space itself is unaffected.
Yeah.
We can't, like, you can't affect space. Do you know what I mean? Like, what are you going to do? You can't.
No, it's, you can't touch it.
You can't burn it. You can't, there's nothing you can't.
And you don't even know. It's like when, for example, I look as far as I can. I don't know if there is space behind the trees. I mean, actually, if there's no seeing of, like, there's only awareness of what's being seen here, like with the eyes.
Good.
So maybe nothing. It's like, maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe there's nothing outside of this. And when I take my car and I drive, it appears, but maybe what is not there right now. I cannot.
Very good. Very good. That's the next step where I want to take you right now.
Oh,
good.
Okay. Because
good.
I was wondering about that.
Good. It's okay. So we can agree that things are dependent upon space.
Yes.
What's space dependent upon?
Must be awareness. Yeah.
Spot on. Exactly.
But there's nothing else, so above that.
Well, let's see. Shall we?
Okay.
Just for the sake of this exercise, okay? So what I've said is that as a person, yeah, we live in this realm or in this state of only, and I mean only, being conscious of. It's important that you understand exactly what I mean by that. Yeah. Conscious of. And we don't notice space. And yet space is primary. Without the space, there couldn't be things. So things are dependent upon space. Space is not dependent upon a thing. You can remove all things and the space will still be there.
Yeah, but at the same time, you wouldn't notice it either, because there wouldn't be anything else. But yeah, that would be strange.
You're conscious of space in the room, aren't you? Right.
Yeah.
Now. So it's not like there isn't anything else.
No, but if there were no things in space,
yeah,
it would just
be what?
not be space anymore. It would be one thing.
Why not?
Because this is only a word, and it would just, yeah, that's strange to me. I can't imagine. The mind cannot. It looks like space exists because of the things. And then
let me ask you this, yeah? If you had
this is just for the mind.
Let me ask you this. If you had a shoebox and the shoebox was empty and you took the lid off the shoebox and looked into the shoebox, you'd see space in there, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Space. No things, just space. That's what I'm talking about. That's all. Space can exist without things.
Yes, that's true.
Good. That's all I'm saying.
That's true.
Yeah. Try not to think outside of the shoebox.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's space in the room that you're sitting in right now. A whole lot. There's more space in the room that you're in than there are things.
Yes.
Good. So if we removed all the things, there'd still be space.
More.
Yeah, but still space.
Yeah.
Seemingly more.
Yes, seemingly.
Seemingly more.
Because
The
when
thing-
you put a thing into the space, like this cup, so this is not space anymore.
But the thing that you've put into the cup, if you ask a physicist, he'll tell you that's also space.
Yeah. Oh.
A well-known fact. Things just appear to be solid to us.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Everything is space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Appearing as solid.
Yes.
Yeah. But for it to appear as solid, we have to be in a realm of being conscious of.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got that?
Mm.
Good. Now we've jumped to good. What's space dependent upon? And you use the word awareness. I'd say, okay, yeah. But yes, let's just for the sake of this exercise, we're going to use a different word. Yeah? You're right, but let's use a different word. Yeah. Understand this is an exercise.
Mm.
Okay. So instead of using the word awareness, how about we use the word consciousness? In the absence of consciousness, there'd be no space, there'd be no things. For the sake of the exercise, can you see that? In the absence of consciousness, things and space disappear. Can you see that?
Yeah.
From your own direct experience.
Sorry?
From your own direct
Oh,
experience.
yeah.
If you become unconscious,
Yeah.
your experience would be there's no space and there's no things. True?
True.
Good. Now, next question. What's consciousness dependent upon?
What? Like the one.
Let me ask you, well, how many ones are there? Is there the one and consciousness?
No.
No, good. So, all right. I asked you a moment ago, are you conscious? Very quickly you said yes. So here's my next question. Are you aware that you are conscious? Do you know you are conscious?
Oh, yeah.
Good. That's being aware of being conscious.
Mm-hmm.
You see that? Good. So, two parts of this exercise. One, start noticing space, because this is the realm that we live in. When you start to notice space, the significance of it, that if we removed it, there'd be no things. It's far more significant than the things, because the things are dependent upon space to exist, yet we don't notice space. That's crazy shit.
But are things also things can be objects or also like someone talking? This is also a thing.
Yep. That if we removed space, there'd be no sound, there'd be things, there'd be no light, there'd be nothing. Nothing. If you could remove the space.
No.
Because they say, although they're starting to change the idea, they say that time and space only came into existence at the Big Bang. Okay, what was prior to that?
Yeah, no.
And they don't know, right?
No.
Right, but we won't go there. We won't go there, right?
Yeah.
So now, are you aware of being conscious?
Yes.
Good. Now, can you notice that when I ask you the question, are you aware of being conscious? I'm only asking you to be aware of one thing, not that it's a thing. So excuse my language. Do you understand? I'm asking you to be aware of only consciousness.
Yeah, you told me that before.
It's all right. We're running through it again.
No, I know, but it's like, I don't know. I'm stuck in this, like, yeah.
Conscious of. You're stuck in conscious of. That's where you are. See that.
But it's like I can't do another way.
You can. You can. I'm trying to, and that's what I'm trying to get you to see. You can. You can. Now, can we agree that when you're in the realm of being conscious of, yeah, how many things, including thoughts or a feeling or sounds or objects or whatever, how many things do you think you're conscious of in the course of a whole day?
Oh, a lot.
Oh, so much.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So much, especially even just this, right? The
Yeah.
mind. Yeah. So much. Now what I'm asking you to do is shift. Now I'm asking you to just be conscious of one thing. And that's why I use the terminology. I'd like you to be aware of consciousness only.
But when I try to do that, it's like, okay, I'm aware of consciousness, and consciousness is conscious of.
No. So you jump straight.
There are words, yeah, but
I know I know, but that's expected to happen to start with, because we always live in a world of being conscious of. And I'm trying to extricate you from that and get you to notice, instead of all the things that we're conscious of, to revert back to just consciousness itself.
But consciousness is dependent on things. No, things are dependent on consciousness. But no, yes. But consciousness is only appears. No, it's not what I want to say. Consciousness is the fact of being conscious of things. Because if there are no things, I'm not conscious.
Wrong.
Yeah, I know, but why?
Good. And you smiled too. You heard.
Like, I know it's wrong, but I don't know why.
That's okay. But the fact that you smiled is good. The fact that you smiled is good.
But if there were no things, yeah, you said there would still be space.
Now listen, listen, hold on. The exercise that I'm giving you, which sounds dualistic, so I'm giving you something to hang on to. I'm asking you to be aware of being consciousness. That sounds like two, doesn't it? Being aware of being conscious. So we're not saying that there's only consciousness and then all things disappear and there's, you know, I'm not saying that. For the sake of the exercise, I'm asking you, if I couch this a different way, I would say start noticing consciousness.
But how? It's like with the senses.
No. Okay, watch this, right? Are you conscious?
Yeah.
There it is. How do you know you're conscious?
I don't know.
Because you're aware of being conscious. That's why you said yes.
But then there's nothing to notice.
Really? Consciousness, see.
But consciousness is because of the seeing and the senses.
Space and things are dependent upon consciousness. things are dependent upon space, and we never notice it. Space. Space is dependent upon consciousness, and we never notice it. We never notice it. Consciousness is not a thing. Can we agree to that? Consciousness is not a thing.
Yeah.
Good. Yet, if I ask you if you're conscious, you go, yes. And yet
But
it's
then
not a thing.
you cannot think about it.
Correct. You don't have to think about it.
If you do,
then you
it's
become
not working.
Then you good, very good. Then you become conscious of again, don't you?
Yeah.
Good.
But so it looks like being aware of being conscious is like actually there's nothing to do.
Correct. Holy shit. That's correct. That's right.
Oh God.
That's exactly right. Any doing,
But it's
any
so
doing would be
oh.
the realm of being conscious of.
Oh, okay, okay.
Now,
So
good.
so.
Now, it sounds like even the instruction that I'm giving you, be aware of being conscious, still sounds dualistic. Still sounds like being conscious of, doesn't it? But here's the difference. Here's the difference. Yeah?
There's only one thing.
Good. Consciousness, it's only one. Now, an interesting thing happens there, Julie. A very interesting thing happens. If you can start to do this, being aware of, being conscious, only the idea, because it's only an idea, the idea of being aware of being conscious collapses, and the awareness and the consciousness are one. But to get there, for that to collapse, for the awareness and the consciousness to collapse into one, you've got to sit with consciousness. And to do that, the pointer is start being aware of consciousness only. Then the instruction that I've given you, be aware of being conscious, collapses. Because there isn't, Julie, there isn't awareness and consciousness.
No, that's where I don't get it.
Well, that would imply too. That's why I'm saying to you, this is a pointer, but it's bringing you back to being conscious of only one, instead of the myriad of things that we normally get caught up with in the course of a day. Thoughts and feelings and buildings and things. Do you understand?
I do, but it's like when I don't know, there's something I don't get in a way, because being aware of being conscious is I don't know. I don't know how to, it's like I can't do it. And there's nothing to do at the same time, because I am always conscious. So there's nothing to notice. So, because I've tried before, and I don't know, there's something that...
The something, listen to me, the something that you're referring to is only mind. Only. It's only thoughts. That's all it is. The only thing that could get in the way would be thoughts, which creates the being conscious of a myriad of things.
But they do get in the way.
I understand, but that's because we don't notice consciousness. We don't notice space, because the mind Another way of perhaps putting it, yeah, is the mind is like it's addicted to things.
Yeah.
Things, addicted. See, the mind can't exist unless it creates things. So for the mind to continue to perpetuate itself, it has to constantly be creating things. The mind. And when I say the mind, all I'm talking about, Julie, is thoughts. Only. Just thoughts. So I'm trying to shift you from being conscious of a myriad of things throughout the course of the day, yeah, to be aware of consciousness only. Now, you may need to, you know, in fairness, yeah, you may need to pick your times throughout the course of the day where you can actually sit and do this. I'm not asking you to do this whilst you're in mid-conversation with me or somebody else, or you're at work and you're serving and I'm not, it's not because you're in the world then. So I'm asking you to pick your times throughout the course of the day where you've got a spare half an hour or a spare hour or a spare whatever you've got, even if it's a spare 10 minutes. Sitting, being aware of consciousness over a period of 10 minutes is a fucking long time.
Yes.
It's a long, long time. Yeah. So if we look at this again, okay, things are dependent on space. Space is dependent on consciousness. Consciousness is dependent on being aware that you are conscious. Do you understand? Okay. Now, in the world, yeah, all we notice is things. We don't notice space. So there's two parts to this. I want you to start noticing space. And the importance of it. Fuck, the importance of it. And we just willy-nilly, we don't even notice it. Yeah. Now, let's look out into the universe. How much fucking space is there? All those things, all those stars, those planets, those moons, those galaxies, all of that is dependent upon space. We don't notice the space. We're too busy looking at the galaxy or the planet or the star or the moon or the sun, or, yeah. So I'm trying to, it's a shift in perspective, Julie. It's just a shift in perspective, yeah. So two parts. One, start noticing space. Now that you can do whilst you're at work. That you can do whilst you're driving. That you can do whilst you're doing anything. You can start to notice space. Yeah. Now, it might seem difficult because space is a no thing. So the way that we notice space is we become conscious of space. Yeah. Now, when we're conscious of space, we're only conscious of one thing, space. Do you understand? So I'm trying to get you to shift the mind, if you like. I'm trying to get you to shift from being conscious of a myriad of things all the time to just being conscious of space. And space is a no thing. There's no start, no end, no beginning, no location, just is. Start noticing space. That you can do whilst you're sitting here having a cup of tea, and watching your body move around in space, your hand moving around in space. Every time you pick up your vape, your arm is moving in space. Start noticing the space, okay?
Okay.
Then, when you can pick some quiet times, just sit down, get comfortable, yeah? If you can, find a blank wall.
Okay.
With no things on it. You with me? Yeah. Nothing that the mind can get attached to. Yeah. Either that, or if you get the opportunity, lie down on your back on a beautiful sunny day where there's no clouds in the sky. Just lie down on your back, yeah, and just look into the infinite. Now, if a cloud comes by, the mind will attach to it. Do you understand? So I'm trying to get you to do this so that there are no things to distract you. Yeah. So sit quietly, pick your time, doesn't matter. You know, even if you've got a few hours, Don't put a time limit on it. Just sit there. You'll eventually come out of it. Yeah. Just sit there. Yeah. If you're in your apartment, you can find a wall that's blank so that the mind can't get attached to anything, not even a tiny little dirty mark on the wall, because the mind will get attached to that. Do you understand? Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not a problem that the mind does that. But
well, what I'm trying to do is, whilst you're sitting quietly, see, I want you to do this with your eyes open, not closed. As soon as we close our eyes, the mind will start to kick in. It's nature to do that, because it does that every time we get into bed. We close our eyes and dreaming starts. So when we close our eyes, we're more susceptible to more thoughts. So that's what I'm trying to get you to do with your eyes open. So I just want you to sit quietly, and start to become aware of consciousness, that you are conscious.
Okay.
Only.
Okay.
Good. And the other part of the exercise is just become conscious of, notice my language is different. One is, I want you to be aware of being conscious. Now, the first part of the exercise, whilst you're operating throughout the day, is I want you to be conscious of space only. There's not several bits of space. It's all one space. Yeah. So you start to become conscious of space and watching your body move around in space, noticing that things occupy space, but you're more interested in the space that the thing is occupied within. Do you understand? It's a shift to the way we normally operate. Yeah.
Okay.
So start to notice the space, and the other, when you've got a quiet time, just sit really quietly, get very, very comfortable, sit just very, very quiet, or lay down on your back, or I mean, you can do it on your bed, you can lay down on your bed if there's nothing on the roof, just boom, with your eyes open. And with your eyes open, start to notice the fact that you are conscious, and only being aware of that fact only. Now, when you first start doing this, I guarantee you, the mind is going to be going, oh, am I doing this right? This doesn't seem to be right. What is it that I'm trying to see here? What is it that I'm trying to notice here? Right? It'll. So I just want to acknowledge it will do that. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Give it no value whatsoever that it's doing that. And certainly, what I mean by give it no value, don't believe it. If you start believing it, you're giving it value. Do you understand? So no matter what it's saying, just come back to conscious. Am I conscious? Because when I ask you, are you conscious? A split second later, you say, yes. Now, how do you know? What's consciousness? See, we don't know the answer to it.
No, we don't.
And yet you are conscious. And without you being conscious, there'd be no space and no things. There'd be no nothing. How about we inquire into that? Yeah, but you're inquiring into it. This is where it sounds a bit funny. Yeah, you're inquiring into it with awareness only. That you're conscious. Look, I could say it like this, but I don't like saying it like this. Yeah? I could say, be conscious of the fact that you're conscious. It's kind of a bit, but if I split it and make it sound like two different things, be aware of being conscious, even though it's a dualistic instruction that I'm giving you, if you can at least do that, just notice that you're just trying to be aware of the fact that you're conscious, aware of the fact that I'm conscious.
Yeah.
The mind might arc up, it might be, but eventually, if you just sit there long enough, that it'll quieten down all by itself. All by itself. Yeah. The more aware you become of consciousness itself, the more this will shut up. Because the attention is no longer on mind. You're now no longer conscious of mind or conscious of things. Now you're just conscious of consciousness only. And doing that, all of the attention, all of the consciousness, all of the awareness, if you like, is totally now focused on consciousness itself and only, yeah. And in doing that, all the things disappear.
Okay.
Which includes this fucker.
Yeah.
My French, but you know what I mean, yeah? Because this
it might take a long time, but
it doesn't have to.
well, I don't know. I mean, I'll see.
That statement that the mind just threw up would be one of the statements I would absolutely ignore and give no value to.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it might be that sort of stuff that might be thrown up initially when you're attempting to do this. But vigilance. Yeah. Vigilance. Julie, you haven't been brought this far for no reason. Follow the instruction.
Yeah, I will.
Just follow the instruction. Just
okay.
Follow the instruction. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And get back to me. Get back.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because I mean, sometimes an hour chat, with you and I, yeah, can all all we do, you and I do, we expose the false for the false, and the truth is revealed. That's what happens in this conversation. That's all. If the false starts arising, I'll point it out, and then you see it, and you go, yep, yep, yeah, and it just brings you back again to right here, like right here. Yeah. Be gentle, be kind, be loving, be nurturing. All those beautiful principles. Be practicing those in your life whilst you're doing this. Be kind, gentle.
I am. That's
good.
That's natural for me.
Good. Oh, beautiful. Can you do that with yourself?
Yeah.
Good.
More.
Good. Good. So just be gentle. Yeah. And stop listening to this. Stop giving it value. Stop believing it. Stop trusting. Yeah. It will mislead you all the time.
Yeah.
It's nature to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what we're trying to do is just bring you home. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring you home. There's no me. That's a huge step.
Yeah.
That's a huge step. Yeah. Like acknowledge that for yourself. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just created by thoughts, Okay. In the absence of thoughts, what's left? You.
Yeah.
It is conscious. You. It is aware. And notice, I'm not defining what that you is, but I'm not denying it either. There is a you, Julie. You are.
Yeah.
You are. Yeah. All we got to do, which you've done, is know that when I say you are, I'm not referring to the me. You already know that. Yeah. And the interesting thing, yeah, you know what the me's looking for? The you are.
Yeah, I know.
It's looking for this. Yeah. But it occupies this space. The me says, I am here. It's me that's aware. It's me that's conscious. It's me that's looking at thoughts. It's me which is all rubbish. None of that's true. The me is not aware at all, unless you're telling me a fictitious cartoon character, an animated, fictitious cartoon character can be aware.
No.
That's the me.
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah.
That's the me. Yeah, so another way, or another pointer, yeah. Be still and know that I am. It's what I'm asking you to do. Be still. Yeah, like the I am is the fact that you're conscious, is the fact that you're here, is the fact that you answer very quickly when I ask, are you conscious? You go, yes. Just the mistake that we've been making our whole life is we've assumed that that's saying yes, or that is conscious is the me. That's why we've got to come to see that we're not the me first. Then we can start exploring this, which is what I'm trying to get you to do. Sit still, be aware of consciousness only. Yeah. Now the inquiry starts. Up till now, you've been coming to understand what you are not. Now I'm trying to point to what you are. I don't have to talk with you about what you're not. You do know, Julie, you do know. I wouldn't have taken you to this bit if I didn't think that or know that. Yeah, be still. The instruction that Nisargadatta got was stay with the I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another way of saying that is stay with consciousness. Because you know you are conscious. Same as saying stay with the I am. You are. I'm not saying what you are, but you are. If I said what you were, it wouldn't be true. It'd come from here and it'd be a conscious of statement. It'd just be this creating something which isn't real, actually. Yeah. So as you're operating throughout the day, notice space. Please. It's really significant because we don't notice space. And then the other part of the exercise is notice consciousness, because we don't notice consciousness.
Yeah.
We don't notice it. Yeah. That's it.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Terry.
No worries. You're okay. This is all good.
Yeah,
Really
I know.
Good. Yeah. It's really good. Yeah. Step out of here.
Yeah.
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 There's something else. There's something else that if it wasn't there, there'd be no this. So it's more important than this.
Mm.
Yeah. Like space is more important than the thing. Do you understand? Yeah. And this part of where you're at, we're exploring without mind. You don't need mind to know you're conscious at all. Yeah. So just delving into that here. What's this? A rhetorical question, of course. What's this? Yeah. But this is where you should be arriving. Here. What's actually this? I'm pointing to consciousness when I say that. You understand? What's this?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.